Ow.
Okay, today's video, I'm incredibly unmotivated, but we're going to change out the front motor mount here on an Acadia. It will be the same for a Traverse, and I think an Saturn Outlook or something like that. So the motor mount is down here. If you see the oil filter, it's down below the oil filter. Oil filter's right there. If you take the oil filter off, is the first step, and there's an 18mm bolt or nut on top of that, and then there's an 18mm nut on the bottom of the subframe. And then we will jack the engine up and kind of move this thing, wiggle it in and out of the way. If you, maybe I can see it. Maybe if you see just right past the edge of the oil filter, you can see that nut right down there. Maybe. So what you'll need for this job is ratchet, several extensions to make it comically long, 18mm socket. You need a jack. You need a block of wood of some sort to make sure you don't crack your oil pan. And then you have right here, this is the part number of the motor mount that I'm using, got from RockAuto. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to pull that, remove the oil filter. I'll be right back. Okay, the oil filter is out, and where am I looking? Okay, right there is the top mount bolt or nut. So the motor mount I got didn't come with replacement nuts. Yours may, depending on which one you get. So I'm going to need to save these and switch them over. So one sec. I've got my comically long extension on there. Break this thing free. That okay, the bottom bolt is, I'll show you here, in this little hole right here. You'll need a shorter extension or maybe a deeper socket to get in there, but now I'm just going to break this one free and take that off. All right. Okay, I've got the jack on some blocks up underneath the oil pan. I'm jacking it up, and the whole car is being lifted up, but it's also lifting the engine off of the motor mount up top. As you can see right there, maybe you can see it's lifting off. So the top part of the motor mount is, that bolt is much longer than the bottom. So now I think we lift it up and try and pull the bottom out of the frame and then kind of shimmy it out of the way, and the only way that will come in and out of there. So now it's time to start juggling things around. Okay, got it out right here. Okay, first things, a couple things to note when you're blocking it up. I'm sorry if you can't notice anything, but here, make sure you put your blocks far enough out of the way, because this can come out is right here. You jack up the engine until, when you look at the top and the mount where the bolt comes through the top of the mount, let me back out and try to explain it. Where this bolt at the mount bracket sits here, you jack up until the mount bracket is right about here. Okay, it's like barely in there, and then you take up the motor mount, you lift it up into the top bracket, slide the bottom out twists it a little bit and then goes out down the hole. And as you can see from this one here, that's dead. Because this one here is solid. So now I will take, God man, I'm getting oil everywhere. Okay, I suggest you line everything with some sort of cardboard or something like this, because the oil that comes out of the oil filter just sits here and catches on this thing all the time, apparently. I mean, look at us leaking out of it. Yeah, so if you look at the bottom here, you have the stem, and then you'll have this indexing tab, and then you have this kind of open area back here, this plastic tab. That plastic tab points towards the back of the car, and that will help you kind of get this tab indexed in. So you push it in there, rotate it, slide this down into the hole in the subframe, excuse me, rotate around until this indexing tab sits down, and then you can go ahead and put your nut on it and then lower the car back down on top of it. So now I will, let me get out of this nasty towel or glove and put on a better one and try and keep everything a little bit cleaner and clean this all up. Okay, the amount of oil that's leaking out of this thing, I'm assuming this is an oil filled fluid dampener, but I'm not sure. Alright, so I'm going to try and see if I can show you how to do this one-handed. It may not work, you may not be able to see anything, but at least I'm making an effort. So I have this here, go into this spot, go up, and I try and get it up through the area here. Where's the open spot? There it is, there's the open spot. There's seriously only one open area. I'm trying to rotate this a bit, and can you see up there? I don't know if you can see anything. I'm trying to slide the upper bolt into the mount hole. Where are you? I feel like that one up in there. Okay, so now I am trying to find the base hole. Base hole's right there. Okay, I dropped down. So now I'm rotating it around and see if we can hear it. Alright, the indexing tab has slid into the spot here, and indexing tab is right here where my finger is. Hopefully you'll be able to see. I mean, it's pretty dark. I can't do anything about that, guys. So that is in there. Let me go ahead and slide that nut on. Bottom nut goes on. Ideally, the bottom nut goes on. Holy one-handed that man. Okay, so that's wanting to rotate around. All right, guys, I need 2 hands for this. Okay, I kind of got that nut started. Let's see, where's my flash? And maybe you can kind of see how that bolt is kind of barely up inside that bracket. That's the way it's kind of got to be to get it to slide in and out. So I'm now going to lower this down slowly and have this sit down on the motor mount. And then I got to tighten that nut up on the bottom, and then I'll put the nut back up here on top. Okay, got that nut back on top there. So there it is. So now that's down. The bottom's all tight. The only thing that is left now would be to put the oil filter back on. But that is how you change out the front motor mount on an Acadia or a Traverse or a Saturn Outlook or a Buick Enclave. That's the other thing. So yeah, that's how you do it. There's 2 other motor mounts. There's one down over here kind of under the transmission over by this control arm, and one over here towards the front side of the engine or passenger side of the engine near that control arm. And to replace those, you have to actually drop the cradle a bit, and but I think for the most part those ones don't usually go. It's usually this front motor mount and then this torsion strut mount, this rubber that rubber dog bone looking thing down there, that dry rots and breaks. And I actually have that part coming, so that'll probably be my next video when I replace that out. It's just not here yet, and I want to get this front one changed. So that's how you do it, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, and thanks for watching.